Okay, so it looks like the bots have found me. Yeah, guys, it's over. We're shutting this baby down. This channel is not coming back, and unfortunately, it's over. Ciao for now.
The Fusa! The Fusa are attacking!
Nah, I'm just kidding. So about 2 months ago, I did a video about like YouTube bots, and the reason why I did a video on that particular is because there were so many bot comments like everywhere under particularly popular YouTuber videos. But in this case, I was looking at Moist Critical or Penguin Zero, and because he's one of the bigger YouTubers, you just see spam comment after spam comment after spam comment, and it's just like, what is going on? And of course, some of these are real people, but a good chunk of them are bots. And so in that video, essentially what I was just saying is that there was a common thread between all of them. So one thing would be like, okay, they have a very spicy picture of something. The account was made like the day of, and then if you go and look into their profile, you would see that, oh, this is a link to some sketchy website. Okay, and you know, some people might be curious if they click on it, but who knows what you're getting. Sometimes you might get some illicit material, sometimes you might just get your data stolen, sometimes it might just be a quick IP snagger for you so you can get DDoSed or whatever. So it depends. So the reason why these are so problematic is because these bots are literally everywhere. Like, you cannot get away from it. And YouTube moderation is not exactly the best. Even for me, when I moderate my channel, like I moderate certain comments, some stuff will still get through regardless. Which I'm actually glad that there is an auto moderation, because realistically speaking, if you have like, I don't know, 20k comments, you cannot sit down and moderate every single one. One, that is tedious, and two, there's no point. Because like, you're literally doing a job that you don't need to do. So sometimes YouTube actually helps with that, and so the auto moderation tool is great. Right? I recommend everybody uses it. So anyways, that's where we are now. So about this not new set of bots, but about this new issue that's been going on is where what ended up happening here is that I got a comment that said Shane Lodge. Okay, now my name is not Shane. Okay, my last name is definitely not Lodge, and you're not gonna know what my last name is. I'm not telling you. And you're not guessing my first name either. Actually, my first name is very hard to guess. But the point is that, so you're always wondering, why the hell would somebody type this? Why would a bot do it? And so the gist of it is that essentially, if you try out a bunch of different names, you might get the proper information on who you're looking for. Because take in, for example, say your name is, I don't know, John Doe, okay? So if I censor in my YouTube, like, censored words here, as you're going to see on screen, if I censor the name like John Doe, all right, what a bot can do is going to type that name in there, and guess what happens? Oh no, this comment was censored, so your name must be John Doe because you censored this comment, or this comment's been held for review. Because sometimes you'll comment on videos and then the comments, you know, are censored. So naturally, that's the gist of, I believe, how the bot works, or how they work. And if you're a larger creator, of course, you're going to get spammed constantly over and over and over and over and over again, making it, you know, rather tedious. So here, I actually have a video by somebody by the name of HG Modernism, who actually can explain it better than I can. So here they are, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
Comment had the word Jessica, which happens to be in my blocked word list. So YouTube automatically pulled it for review, where it has continued to sit for 5 hours. The second comment didn't have any words in my blocked list, so it was posted and then deleted about 15 minutes later. So you might reasonably ask yourself, why was the second posted comment deleted, but not the first? I tested this by making 2 comments with my other channel. Jessica is on the block list and Susan is not. When I go to the video page and my comment history, I can't actually see that one is not being shown. I had to look with a different account to see it's not there. But if the comment is missing from the comment section, it's a pretty obvious signal you found a word in the creator's block list. But now the question is, why names? Well, most creators tend not to put their real names online, but that would get foiled pretty quickly when you get a comment like, "Oh hey, Jessica, we were friends at Susan B. Anthony Middle School. It was so cool that you had a house on 3rd and Market Street, and your mom, Gloria, maiden name Smith, made the best apple pies." So it seems pretty reasonable that creators would put names like Jessica, Susan, Gloria, etc. in their block list. The problem is, most creators probably don't realize that their block list can be reverse engineered. So what was the goal of these comments? So I don't think I was personally targeted, because there were only 2 comments, and you need a lot more to find a single person. My suspicion is that the bots are looking for channels owned by specific people with one name in each comment. For example, Brian Lee or Richard Hall. They're probably using the bots to narrow down to channels that have a double comment block, and then they'll do a more fine-grained search from there. But this is just a guess, so let me know your crazy conspiracy theory in the comments. Maybe there's something tying these names together that I'm missing. Also, maybe let your creator friends know so they don't get doxxed. The blocked word limit seems to be really high, so if you're going to put your real name, also just add every name you can think of, I guess.
And so, essentially, my interpretation of all this is basically, well, it looks like somebody is just trying to get information. And as you know, when it comes to people trying to get your info, like, advertisers want that shit today. They need it. Because how the hell are they going to sell you stuff? Or how is your data going to be sold to somebody if you don't know how to get it? So, people are always trying to find the latest scheme. And, you know, stuff like a VPN can help you sometimes, but the VPNs aren't exactly 100% foolproof. And of course, there's many ways to circumvent this. Of course, if sometimes if you run like on a virtual machine or something, but your average person can't afford a PC that can run a virtual machine. That's not really going to happen. Even my PC can run it, but I don't run virtual machines because I just don't want to. I don't want to. That's my own risk. But anyways, regardless. So the question in your mind might be like, so how doxxed am I? Like, how much of my information is already out there? Now, of course, I will not put my name in the search bar, but take in, like, how much do you honestly post on, like, social media, for instance? Ask yourself, how much are you, like, active in, like, chat rooms? How active are you in different areas? If your answer is very active, then you have drastically increased your chances of getting doxxed. Even more, if you use your name in those places, you have made your chances even higher to get doxxed. However, if you're a bit more anonymous and low-key, it makes it a bit harder. And especially if you have a harder name to find, if your name's rather unique, your name's like, I don't know, like Susie, for instance. I know my name ain't Susie, so you gotta really find me to know where I'm at. But, for instance, if you have a very generic name, well, guess what? It's a bit easier to narrow down. So, not everything is foolproof. And so, to me, it's just like in this day and age when you are trying to figure out exactly, how best guard your information, because, you don't want people having that. It's a bit of an arms race. And I gotta say though, when it comes to YouTube, I find it funny that like they'll be going to war with like ad blockers, which is an entirely different subject we'll probably cover in another video. But it's just interesting how they'll go to war with ad blockers, for instance, but going to war with these bots that are literally trying to get information on certain people. They're not really, not really helpful with that. But naturally, okay, taking a more nuanced position, it's not very easy to deal with bots in general. Like, bots are not easy to deal with. And the fact that they can be mass-produced tomorrow, just like that, tells you enough as it is. So, the question I want you to ask yourself was like, how would you want to tackle a situation like this? And if you don't have an answer, guess what? I'm pretty sure that's the most common answer because it's a very complicated issue. Those of you who are always wondering, like, oh no, have I ever been breached? Have bots found me? Well, I don't know anything in particular that can stop people from finding like your name, for instance. Here's a couple websites you can try out. So in this case, this is the one I showed in the last video, but it's like how I've been pwned. Essentially, you type in your email and it tells you if you've been breached in the database or not, or been in a data breach, or whatever it is. And so you can see in the first example, the first email that I put in, there's no data breaches. But the second one, there was 5. So there's a big potential for someone finding out exactly who I am. And if you're really that paranoid, so I have another website where it's like you can take like a password strength checker. And so some passwords, might be take you 20 milliseconds to figure out because, well, it's very generic. But the more complicated you make your passwords, the more it's hard it is to get into your stuff. And so, those are just some very basic security measures if you're really, really paranoid about stuff. Of course, I would look at this stuff like, not like dark web monitoring or something along those lines, but you can look at the services like that. I think some places give it out for free as well. So, yeah, I believe that's how it goes. But anyways, the point is that, in this information arms race, people are always trying to get something off of you. So, it's not exactly easy, but there are measures in place. So, when it comes to these kind of bots, I don't think I'm being particularly targeted because I don't really have a big target on my back to begin with. So I'm not exactly worried about this. But just because I'm not worried does not mean like somebody else shouldn't be. Because who knows what kind of information that you can get out of somebody. And of course, your information gets sold off and who knows what people do with it. So, yeah. So I really hope YouTube looks into this because if they don't, there's going to be some consequences that are not be very reversible, unfortunately for you. So, quite a tough spot to be in. But anyways, I just wanted to look over this rather quickly because, bots are no joke. And they can actually be very invasive. So, yeah, try to protect yourself as best as you can. And that's about it. So, if you enjoyed this little video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and follow my socials down in the description below. But that's enough for me today. So, ciao.